When we plug Elvin Ray into shore power, we have a few rules and a few steps that we follow to make sure we do it safely. The first rule is to never plug into a hot outlet. We always want to make sure that the outlets are powered down at the pedestal breaker and on the power panel. And the reason for this is that there's a lot of expensive stuff on our boats, and I don't want to risk damaging the electronics with a power surge or an arc of some kind. Second rule is I always want to check for heat damage on both my cables and the pedestal. If you look at the pedestal connector and see signs that one of the connector blades has been damaged by heat, you know there's been a loose connection in there at some point that has caused that damage, and it may have damaged the connector in the pedestal. So you want to pick a different pedestal or pick a different connection on the pedestal to see if you can get the best connection you can. Number 3 is to never ignore the reverse polarity light. There's a reverse polarity light on your power panel, and it is a big deal. It's a warning light that's there for a reason. It indicates that the hot and neutral connections are reversed on your power, and it may seem like things are fine because the lights come on and the outlets work, etc., but your safety systems are also negated in that case. For example, the fuse on your water heater is now on the neutral side of the connection, so it's a lot farther away in the circuit, which means you're not protected from a short circuit in that case, and you have a fire. So Jeff Cody of Pacific Yacht Systems on YouTube has said in the past that if you can't figure out the reverse polarity problem, go to a different marina. It's that serious. Now let's talk about the steps I go through to connect to shore power safely. The first thing I like to do is plug into the boat connection and make sure that that connection is twisted in properly and tight. So I'll pull the connector out, check it for heat, plug it in, give it a good hard turn clockwise, and then tighten it up. I want to make sure the red light is facing up. That just ensures that it's positioned properly, and then I'll head toward the pedestal with the cable. Now I like to coil the cable up loosely and hang it on the pedestal. Some people would either leave this on the dock or lay it out straight, but I like to just coil it up, and then I'll look at the pedestal. I'll ensure that the breakers are off on my side of the pedestal, and that again check the plug for heat damage and plug into the outlet again with a good clockwise twist, making sure it's locked in place. Then I turn on the breaker. That breaker powers up the cable, right? And then I come back to where I've plugged in on the boat and make sure that the red light indicator on my cable is glowing. That way I know I actually have power through that cable to the boat. Now that we have power coming into the boat, I want to turn on the power in the boat. Now start with the ELCI. That's normally in the off position for us whenever we're not connected to shore power, and turning that on, I ensure that I have a green light, which means I've got a balanced load in and out of the boat. That then allows me to turn on the shore power switch at the top of the AC panel, and when I have a green light there and no reverse polarity light, I can then turn on the other AC systems on the boat, like the battery charger, the outlets, and the water heater, and use those loads as normal. And that's how you get connected to shore power.